More PSVR 2 good news. Yeah, not really. MetaQuest version 6.7 update aims at Apple Pro Vision users. VR games we should be paying attention to now and upcoming, including new screenshots of Metro Awakening. Looking real tasty. A new VR headset that is more expensive than the Vision Pro. Just what we need. Samsung and Google are about to go official on their relationship, aka a new XR platform upcoming. And Meta want you to spend an extra $90 to $100 on a down payment for Quest 3. It's a Just VR Gaming podcast, episode 5. Seems like it's a kind of a big one. So as ever, there's only people that are like, why are you focusing on this news for the PlayStation VR 2 new? Truth is, as ever, there really isn't anything else interesting to talk about it really. Other than the fact that obviously we had the PC update coming soon. This was a July or June 24th article. And there's just nothing else. There's no exclusive games coming up. There's nothing else to talk about other than the PC support. Another report of good news for PlayStation VR 2, I'm afraid. Sony is getting ready to release a tethered PC VR support, as I mentioned already. It's now for this summer. I think it's August specifically. Does that count as summer? But that may be one of the last meaningful things the company does for its VR hardware. It said increasingly latchkey. I looked up latchkey and I didn't really understand what I meant by that, even after reading the meaning. So I just didn't highlight it. But still mentioned it, I guess. So I guess it still worked out for them. We're on roadtovr.com. Typically we're using roadtovr.com and mixed-news.com for giving credits. So if you want to read further more and come up to your own conclusions of certain things, I'm on the right PC, I think I am, yeah. Anyway, according to a report by Android Central's Nicholas Sutrich, Sony isn't leaving any budget for first-party content. Paraphrasing for anonymity, Sutrich's source maintains there will be very few opportunities for VR game development at Sony going forward. Citing a separate source with knowledge of Sony's internal strategy, the report alleges only 2 PlayStation VR 2 games are currently in development at Sony, which is 2 more than I hoped for and even knew about. So I mean, at least that's something, right? At Sony, the company hasn't responded to the report at the time of this writing, and it hasn't been updated since, so they still haven't responded apparently, or unless I missed it. If you guys know any different, do share it in the comments there, because we're on the various platforms, so that we can be more aware of what's going on at Team Blue. While PlayStation VR 2 owners are still getting a number of highly anticipated games this year, such as Skydance's Behemoth and Alien Rogue Incursion, which both were shown in their State of Play, which just basically was a very poor showing for it was just generally poor, wasn't it? It was a very, very average bunch of live service stuff and not much else really, aside from like Silent Hill 2 and I think another one. Behemoth was cool, obviously looking as well. Alien didn't show much. Anyway, Zombie Army VR and Metro Awakening, all of these are not exclusive, by the way, so you can get them on the PC. I haven't seen Rogue Incursion entry for the Steam one yet. I think Zombie Army and Metro Awakening and Behemoth have Steam versions available, which you can therefore play on the Quest 3. I know people are going to say about, some people say that the PlayStation VR 2 is more blurry to them, or the lens is better on this one or that one, so you can still take your pick, but that is what it is. To name a few, the headset has been missing out on first-party anchor content for some time now. These require Sony's funding and ongoing interest in VR to accomplish, something that seems to have faltered since the headset's launch in February 2023. To boot, the list PlayStation VR 2's first-party content hasn't changed in a year, which includes Horizon Call of Mountain, Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Gran Turismo 7. Some of those are big hitters, but yeah, many of them are big hitters to be fair, but it hasn't been anything new since. Instead of showing off a state of exclusive content to mark its first year anniversary back in February, Sony said announced it was going to officially support PlayStation support PC VR games with the launch of an adapter box coming in August for another dollar amount, in this case $60. PC support won't include a number of features unique to PlayStation VR 2 though, including HDR, which Steam VR does support, so it's kind of weird that that's not in there. People have said that the headset feedback, eye tracking, adaptive triggers, and haptic feedback are not on any of the PC stuff, so that's why it's not support. Why is HDR turned off as well then? That's kind of a weird one to admit from the whole thing. The move comes in stark contrast to Sony's prior strategy with the original PlayStation VR, which pushed compelling first-party content through 2018 with the launch of critically acclaimed platformer Astro Bot Rescue Mission. Notably, Astro Bot Rescue Mission was never updated with the PlayStation VR 2. Meanwhile, its upcoming sequel, Astro Bot, is skipping VR support completely. I didn't actually even catch on. I knew it was a mascot, obviously, and I played with the mascot on the Sony machines. I didn't realize it actually started live when I first did the reaction of the PlayStation State of Play. I didn't realize it was actually also originally a character from the PlayStation VR 1 device. which is kind of interesting and funny and sad all at once. Some listener that comes down to cost savings. Earlier this year, Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan, he's left now, hasn't he, announced a wide-reaching layoff round affecting a number of first-party game studios. This included the closure of Sony's London studio, known for VR action adventure game Blood and Truth. I think people had mentioned they wasn't making a VR game at the time that they got cancelled. I think it might have been them. And reductions at Firesprite, the studio behind Horizon Call of the Mountain. So it's just, see, again, it's really hard to find any good news on the PlayStation VR 2. You either find no news, which is good news in PlayStation VR 2's case, or you find mixed news with the PC support, or no news. Because asking you guys about it, you've had mixed feelings here and there. It really depends on your circumstances as far as how useful the PC edition is to you, especially if you have a Quest 3 already, and even a Quest 2 to some degree. It's kind of like, It's a lot of comments on this one, so let's take a look at some of the comments here. And we've got it sorted the best already. So Tony VT Scarred Ghost, spelled wrong, probably because it was already taken. Says PSVR 2 is not going very well as a platform, and that's a pity, and that's true. 100% agree with that. It's actually a shame. It's not like it's fun to report this stuff. I'm waiting for good new stuff. I've been away cooking away at content and stuff for the VR channel here. Come back and there's not much for PlayStation VR 2 at all, other than more bad news in a way, or at least confirming news already kind of thought. I've got a mixed response here. It says 11 likes on that one, no dislikes. This one's got 2 likes, 2 dislikes, 2 likes and 2 dislikes. Perhaps in the future they could consider adding an option to connect wireless headsets to PlayStation. But a couple of people say the wireless thing. I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be like that's going to be like a whole device, I'd say. Whereas now Quest connects to PC, or even create a standalone VR MR headset, which would be PC placed. There's no way they're going to invest more money in that way. Not happening. I don't think it's going to happen. If they're already cutting costs on the VR 2, they're going to make another device. Let's get another high-rated one. 6 likes, no dislikes on the thumbs up here. This is by Dr. Bambi, who is a doctor of Bambis, aka Deers. The ongoing implosion of this late-stage gaming industry has, in the mind of this VR nerd, no greater tragedy than that of the PlayStation VR 2. It deserved better. We deserved better. Sony completely dropped the ball on this one. Yeah, it's kind of rough. So Sponsor's got a good amount of, but it's kind of big. This is from Phil. How do you get that name without having put 1,000 numbers beside it? Yeah, it's a reflection of being owned by a company that is ran almost exclusively with profit, which is where Sony's changed since 2019. I believe they became Americanized proper. PlayStation, I should say. But supporting growth in innovative markets like VR is no longer seen as a strategy that will keep the shareholders happy. I have little doubt that the launch of PlayStation VR 2 involved quite a bit of internal political wrangling at Sony. I felt like Sony Japan had developed the headset and primed it for launch, but SCI California had little intention of supporting it with any serious money. It's a big comment. It's a good comment though, I'd say. Jumping forward to the end, it's a shame, but at this stage I'm not too worried. As it does have a future, it's just not the one I envisioned when I bought one at launch. Those excuses still make it worthwhile purchase for me. When it's on sale, that is. Which is fair points, yeah. I mean, you're still going to get, there's going to be scenarios where I choose opt for the PlayStation VR 2 version of games, depending on certain aspects of things, especially if it's a case of Quest native versus, because I don't really go around on trains playing the Quest, nothing like that, or on planes. So typically, if it's going to be like, sometimes sometimes the best version can be the PlayStation VR 2, despite their lack of support for aspects of it. And so, yeah, PC wise, I can't, unless it looks better, it's probably still going to end up going with the Quest 3 or something. All right, let's see what Name Kusijin has to say. Until 2008, dreams came later and funding was always there for indies and big ports like Hitman entire trilogy in 2021. Funding is more important than first party proper, but still a shame for a device that was supposed to be the savior of VR. Instead, Quest is the one to be regularly bringing big games like Asgard's Wrath 2, AC Nexus, Batman Arkham Shadows, Medal of Honor, Grid Legends, etc. Four ticks on that one, or up votes on that one. Yeah, what do you guys think? Is this just more of the same, nothing new? It's all I could find in 20 days. This was 20 days ago, and it's all I could find for the PlayStation VR 2 representation for the podcast. Unless you're watching this separately as a segment, in which case the full episode will be linked in the places where it can be linked, because we are multi-platform agnostic. But on the YouTubes for sure, I think probably there'll be a link in if it was on Facebook as well, in Spotify and what have you. No, Spotify would add the whole thing. You get the idea. Let me know wherever you are what you think of this. Do you care about them having first party stuff? Does it matter to you? Are you happy as long as you can play all the stuff via the PC connection now? And it's just this kind of like no biggie, nothing new, but wish there was better news type of thing. Could be worse, but could be better, I think is the finishing line for this particular part of the conversations. So we're looking at the MetaQuest version 67 update. Movable panels for multitasking and creators come to home to Horizon feed. I need to get in that Horizon feed I need to get in that Horizon feed I feed. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so they're adding creator content to Horizon feed. That means people like yours very truly. I give up. And they will be adding also a way to, to highlight this part, supporting moving and arranging 2D apps in your virtual space, and a theater view for when you need some extra focus. So rearranging your space. So I don't know if you guys saw this. Have you guys seen this advert? I've been seeing this advert recently. This guy deciding to learn how to make a cot for his baby via, obviously, this new feature. So essentially, this is again the idea of you can do Vision Pro minus $3,000, because the Quest 3 costs you, over $500, say $600. So minus, not quite minus 3,000. But this is the Vision right here. And can you guys see yourself doing this? Is this what you want to do? Putting a headset on your head to make a cot? I don't know. But it's definitely a much cheaper way than doing it than Vision Pro. So you can range up to 3 of these panels, as it says here, and place more panels as you like. I think I meant to highlight that as well. I swear I highlighted that and it didn't highlight it. Anyway, and what they call a hinged layout, whatever that means. So essentially like that, 3 panels. And we'll see if I can do this after the fact, because I'm updating both the Quest 2 and Quest 3 right now. Sometimes some features, even though it says version 67, whatever the version is, doesn't necessarily mean that all the features are unlocked right away. It might be in a point update. So it's an important thing to remind everybody that if you have downloaded this update, you might have to wait for a point update that kind of might be installing quietly. But they do say from the 13th of July, it should be installing automatically, potentially. So it should be all ready by now, likely. Let me know if you've got the version 67 update, obviously, and if it's working, and if all the features are there, and how you're using it at the moment, how you're enjoying it, if you're already utilizing it and enjoying it. We need to start putting content more on the Facebooks, it looks like, and the Instagrams, because then we might be able to become a content creator content-ness in the Horizon feed, which would be nice, I imagine. Hit the view button on any panel's control bar to automatically expand its size, bring it to front and center, and dim everything else. It sure works for movies, but try it out while typing up a document or browsing the internet. Powerful. Man, I can't wait for it to be glasses, because I think it's still too heavy for that sometimes over a prolonged time, But technically, it could be really cool with just glasses. Just have you won't even need a television. So this creator content in Horizon feed, it means that you'll be able to like and share content from creators you see, like yourself, like myself. Why can't I talk? This is what happens when you haven't planned this stuff and you're just trying to record and capitalize for views. For a more social experience, in other words, to encourage more creators to create content on meta platforms so they can get featured in places like this. So yeah, there you go. Features run out gradually, so you might not see it immediately after 6 to 7 installs on your headset or in the MetaQuest mobile app. It also says this is a reminder for myself. If you're an active creator on other social networks and are interested in participating as a publisher, please let us know in the MetaQuest community Discord. Maybe we get the channel monetized first and then we'll do that, yeah? Probably. But we'll start posting some stuff on the Facebook and the other platforms that are Meta, so that I just need to have platform agnostic language. So when I say follow, subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Facebook or anywhere else, and like is same everywhere, so you can like as well. Subscribe would mean money on Twitch, but we're not on Twitch for that. So yeah, that's the document of it. It obviously looks like, again, the movement towards trying to be more like the vision of the Vision Pro, if you excuse the pun, but for far less money. So let's see if I can throw in some examples of what's going on with it here. So again, make sure you're following or subscribing. Hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you're watching, and let's see if we can do that next. It occurred to me, despite the fact that this channel is called Just VR Gaming, we rarely talk about games in the podcast. We still talk about stuff that affects gaming in VR, but it would be nice to add some games and stuff in the podcast itself. So let's talk about some games that you may have missed and that you should be looking forward to, that I have noticed or that I'm paying attention to at least. And obviously share any games that we should be looking out for, that we should be checking out, that have released or are upcoming that you're looking forward to, or that we should be looking forward to, so that we can look forward to them or enjoy them right now if they're available. 3 such releases that have come out that I've obviously, as you see here, purchased. Infinite Inside, the Exit 8 VR, a hit on the flat screen world, and you were able to mod it so that it could play in VR, but obviously this is native support. And then Death Game Hotel, interesting thing about this one is it's made by the developer known as Swari, who created such gems as Deadly Premonition. At least one that I enjoyed. It's one of those games that stick with you, but it's a little bit janky, to say the least. Some very interesting, unique Twin Peaks style gameplay ideas. But man, so it would definitely be interesting if nothing else is Death Game Hotel. So let's go with the other. We also had Riven recently. Those games, Myst and Riven, like, man, how do you beat those games without looking up guides? Is it any easier in VR? If any of you have played Riven or Myst in VR, let me know. And there's Miracle Pool here, which is interesting. This one does a mixed reality. Let's take a look here and there. I know a lot of you into Taskmaster as well. These are the kind of recent ones that's catching my attention. Silent Slayer as well could be interesting. I have to say that Quest is doing a real good job of the releases. So Miracle Pool is very interesting because what you have here, and I have to remember to speak as well as just assuming you guys can see. I'm probably going to grab this one as well. It's got very good ratings. What it is you can obviously play pool. The physics are meant to be really good. You can play it in like your living room or something if you've got the type of loft space that they're showing here. But it's pretty sick. I'll just mute because I don't want to get copyright bang. You can see it, this person's in their loft. They're just playing and mixed reality. I'm going to be showcasing more mixed reality games and stuff on the channel as well. Outside of Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, which has moments of a mixed reality. You can see here, it looks very cool, and you might look like a prat while doing it, but looks very extensive. It's basically having a pool table without needing the actual cost or space. Got all the tables and that kind of stuff. Avatars as well with no legs, which is always scary, but looks very, very cool. So that's one I've got in my wish list. By the time I finish, I might have purchased this already. Don't know if I've got enough space there. They say you can do mini tables if you've got a smaller space. So if I do any of these games, any games that we do here, I always do a gameplay refund review where I play the first early parts of the game, usually up to about an hour to 2 hours, and I give you my thoughts, first impressions on whether I would refund it or not. Because that's what you can do with the MetaQuest stuff at the least, is refund if you're not happy with it within the first 2 hours, much like Steam. Don't believe you can do that on Sony's stuff, such as PlayStation VR 2. But even in that scenario, I pretend that we can do it, and I do the same thing. So you'll see that on the channel as well if you're looking for it. So do subscribe, follow if you're on the Facebooks or anywhere else, like if you want and like that kind of thing. That's what we do here. It's one of the buckets of content for you. So that's Miracle Pool. It looks dope. I guess it's a play on mixed reality pool, like Miracle, maybe. Don't know. Put your comments why you think it's called that, but it looks pretty sweet. And the mixed reality part of the quest has just been getting better and better and better of upgrades. Clearer, less wobbling on the sides and all that. So I've got to get some artifact and speckles, but I don't know if that was because of the new 67 update or just needed a restart afterwards or something. And obviously we have Riven. You've never riven until you've riven. So I was trying to stop the television cutting that into sleek mode to mess up my lighting beside here. So looking at Riven now, real quickly. Another interesting one. Because technically you'd think that these are easier to play in VR and 3D. I think Myst was static pictures at first and it went 3D right at some point. And obviously now VR. If I'm not mistaken, these are Unity or Unreal Engine as well in it. So it makes it a little bit easier to go from your 3D assets and then go to a VR. Going technical into things that you guys obviously care about, the technicals. What's that Materia there? This is a sequel as well, right? So we'd want to play Myst VR first, wouldn't we? But like, man, I think I did see someone recently beat Myst. Is he beating it yet? He's working on it without hints and he's managed to, but it just takes forever. So you may need the guide with it. I don't know. But that's when it came out recently as well. It's a month ago now? Or was it under a month ago? I is not sure. 25th of June, yeah. It's just under a month ago. So that's one to watch out for. Dead Second looks interesting. It's been on Steam VR for a while though. But it's an interesting mention. And it's very loud. It's ragdoll physics missions where you just pop people. Didn't get nearly enough reviews on Steam, which tells me there's not a lot of people that recognized it. Quite a few reviews on the Quest though. So that's the kind of an indicator for anyone else to do developing and stuff, for stuff, which I may be looking, I'm going back into some development stuff, so we may be doing some VR game stuff, but that's exclusive for the podcast listeners right now, I guess. It still looks very cool. It just, I guess what's lacking in it is a coherent story that we're kind of looking for in our AAA experiences, I suppose. It's more like a AA experience right there. Death Game Hotel, as I said earlier, is by the guy that's done Deadly Premonition, so if you're into his way of doing things, the review count's very low. I don't know if it's because people are put off by the anime or just the concept itself. I'm going to be checking it out. It's got a single player and a multiplayer as well. I'll check out the single player at the least and give you guys my thoughts. But it looks like it's a poker game where we can do some mini games in terms of the Death Game Hotel. Sounds like a cool concept, kind of like a battle royale with cards, We've got some exploration and different things that you can interact with and play with, and the reviews that are there are suggesting that it is an experience. And usually with Sawari, at the least you can say it's an experience. It almost looks like the visual novel series, that Death one, I forget what it's called, but reminds me of that. Soaring Pango or something like that. Doran Pango or something like that. Reminds me of that, but in VR, but almost with a touch of Persona. So it could be cool. So we'll check that out. Should be on the... Oh, that was loud. Should be on the channel soon enough. So please look forward to that. So gratefully, my OBS recording software crashed and lost about 20 minutes of the best recording ever you're ever having in life. So I don't know what part I've got to repeat or not. But anyway, it's Mudrunner VR as well. We would have finished talking about Death Game Hotel. I was saying how also it's got a lower amount of reviews compared to everywhere else. So it might need some more attention than 16 versus the other ones that you'll see, which we're about to go into, is Exit 8 VR, which has 61 ratings. And then these are all released around the same time. Infinite Assassin's 172. So probably needs more attention in Death Game Hotel if it's good. Yeah, there's Silent Slayer as well, which looks interesting. But it looks like you're just kind of doing these puzzles to kind of break open... West Loud. To break open these coffins. I wasn't 100% sold, but I did put it in the wishlist nonetheless. If you guys have played this one, let me know if it's good or not. But it's just, I don't know. Wasn't fully sold on that one. I was also speaking about Black Forge. I wasn't sure about as well visually. Didn't appeal to me, but it might be cool. People, ratings near the 3 though, so that's a little bit like, I kind of take ratings on MetaQuest store like Amazon. It's below, it's getting close to a 3. It's usually concerning, as usually 4 seems to be pretty solid generally. But yeah, aesthetically and that, unless it's got like a campaign story or something, I can't really get into that one, it seems. So yeah, and then what I was saying, I don't remember if it's in the previous part of the recording, so I might be repeating myself here, but it's obviously Taskmaster VR. Now if you're into that, I've never watched Taskmaster, but it's close to the 3 rating again, so I don't know if that means it's good, bad, or what, but that's been released. So something for you to look at. We did the Exit 8 VR. My thing has crashed like 3 times. So I'm lost in the point, and when you're watching it, it's like all over the shop. I did the Exit 8 VR already, yeah. So now we're going into Infinite Inside, which is a puzzle game that's got very high ratings, as you can see. It's not too hard, apparently. I'm looking at some of the reviews and stuff, rave review, but not too long either. So I think it's like 3 hours, maybe 5 hours. And it retails at about £13, $15, $13, something like that. And it has mixed reality, so make sure your living rooms, bedrooms, whatever you is in good order, and you haven't got nothing weird going on in there that anyone can see. And it looks pretty sweet. I'm recording this part for like the 5th time. I'm just like dried out now. And they're completely gone. It was perfect. When you're doing your best commentary ever and then just and you find it wasn't recording for the last 10 minutes. Yeah, that's where I am right now. So yeah, that's one to look out for. I'm gonna purchase, and that's one you'll be seeing a game for. And I think I mentioned somewhere along the recording this when it crashed that at the moment obviously I have to buy these games. But if we as we continue to grow the channel successfully, thanks to you guys. So thank you for your subscriptions, your follows, if you're on like Facebook or wherever else, and your likes and your comments. Watch time good, and we should be able to start to get more games as a cost of business, which will allow me to cover more stuff for you guys and guide you on the secrets of the gems and the not so gemmy games. What am I even saying? And I don't know if it cut out or not when I was saying about how you can get a lot of this stuff for a discounted price if you just Google the game name you're looking for with a 25% code or coupon code, which will lead you typically to Facebook, ironically, which is owned by Meta, obviously. And you can get a lot of this stuff for like discount, all legit, pretty much. So you just using people's code. And I think I got Infinite Inside on discount. I'm not sure if I got XA on discount as well, maybe 25%. Death Game Hotel, couldn't find it, as again, because it's quite, not as well known or promoted. Mudrunner VR might be one to check out as well, even though it's later. It's pretty popular on the PC. So, on the PC as a standard black game in VR, if it's been in VR on PC, I can't remember. But it looks pretty immersive, pretty sweet. So that's an option. And I think I mentioned before, it was kind of multiple times as well, crashing multiple times, is that some of them, I get the exclusive games on the Quest. And the ones that aren't exclusive, I get for the PC because I'm not as focused on being untethered. I'm more on the fidelity and the immersion side of it. So yeah. And then, before it crashed, I was like, so now that that's done, should I go on to the next game that I want to look at? Or should I talk about the other thing I want to talk about? But no, we're going to go to the next game. And I said about how my throat's getting really dry, and that's when I discovered the terrifying reality that the thing crashed, which isn't a typical common thing. I do wish OBS Studio was a little bit more stable though. It's too crashy, especially with plugins. And she's using zero plugins. It's very crashy. Anyway, new Metro Awakening screenshots promise an eerily beautiful VR game. And this is one that I might opt for the PlayStation VR 2 version. Maybe. Depends if it uses any of the exclusive features as well of the device. Anyway, Vertigo Games has released new images from Metro Awakening, the fourth and VR exclusive installment in Metro series, due out later this year. Now, I got the sense of this. There's a video as well. The sense I'm getting from this is it feels like Metro 1, Metro 2033, and so forth. Doesn't feel like Exodus because it seems like it's all contained within the underground parts of the series. That might be better, but let's continue reading. 3 new atmospheric screenshots showing scenes from the VR game have been released on the PlayStation blog. Creative director Martin Dironde and game director Sama Lawi also revealed new gameplay details. Sorry if I butchered your names there, guys. The fourth Metro game was created in cooperation with the author of the book series, Dmitry Glazovsky. See, I'm just so good with names. We were expecting him to come in and come up with another story for the game that was in line with other Metro games, but instead, he came up with a very, very personal, emotional story for a new character. It also meant that our focus started to shift from taking a straightforward approach to a more story-heavy and story-driven approach in this particular game, which means we're getting more of a potential AAA experience, what we want in our VR games, really, alongside all the other kind of more simple and casual experiences. The team played Metro games and asked themselves what strengths would translate well to VR. These include stealth and combat. Metro Awakening takes place before the events of the other games and will therefore have a slower pace. After the first game, he, Artem, becomes a Spartan. But in Metro Awakening, is that a spoiler? Not really, I suppose. Metro Awakening, our protagonist is not necessarily a combat expert. So with that in mind, it also fits better to have a bit of a slower pace to the combat versus narrative than the original Metro series. Many elements have been retained, such as the scarcity of ammunition, which forces you to explore every last corner of the world. I like exploring the last corners of the world, especially if it's not too scary, especially in VR. Vertigo Games also used many of the original assets from 4A Games, who created, obviously, the Metro series previously. So that's exciting. I suppose we could just play a little bit of video here. This is the PlayStation VR. I'm going to mute video here, and I'll just describe what's going on, because if you're podcasting, you're not going to be able to hear it. I think I have to go on YouTube to get it full screen, apparently. Do I want to do that right now? I guess I'm doing it.
Stare into the...
So it's showing a fire. I don't know if this was the one... When did they release this one? It's the same one they released previously. Yeah, 5 months ago. So you guys will always seen this, but you know, it was funny how excited people get. It looks really nice, by the way. Funny how excited people got until they realized it was VR and they started L'ing it and F'ing it. But of course, not us VR people. We were very happy. It looks like it's going to be kind of scary. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm signed up for that. I mean, the Metro games had their jump scary moments, but I wouldn't say they were horror in the classic sense. So it could get pretty eerie out there, folks. It could get pretty eerie. So yeah, it's looking at the screenshots themselves. We have door being, oh no, not door, a lighter being held by the creature standing narrator Mullah. Is that one of the new screenshots? Yeah, it's one of the new screenshots. The gun looks really detailed as well. It does definitely look and feel like Metro. And then we have a couple of guys, looks like in the area you can do some commerce and stuff. They're conversating. That's pretty sweet. And then the final image, it looks like you're sneaking a bit. Let's notice we've got no arms. So we've got floaty hands. I always prefer when the hands aren't floaty, but we've got a big gap there with no arm, just a floaty hand. Should be easy to check things like your wrist though, and wiping your face as you did in the original games in terms of the mess and dirt and things like that. That should really work well with VR. So I'm looking forward to this one. Are you guys looking forward to Metro Awakening VR? They have to add the VR parts that you know it's VR, because you know, did they call it VR? In Metro Awakening VR, am I dreaming? Yeah, Metro Awakening VR. Just in case you end up buying it, not knowing it's VR, I suppose, then you end up complaining. Let's get some comments. So, a bit of a spread here, but let's see. Poly6. As I cough. Should look and feel amazing on PlayStation VR 2 with HDR OLED and those awesome haptics. Yep. One I'm going to go near it with an LCD-based HDM Quest, or this in the Quest. There we go. There's debate about which one will look better or not. Some people don't like the lens of the PlayStation VR 2, apparently, in terms of the pureness of the blacks and that, as someone says here, black image and so forth. I think it looks great personally, but not much comments there actually though. I play Quest because the Quest a lot better resolution, cleaner image, and PlayStation VR 2 blurry mess. So that's what I'm saying. People are like, and you know, I'm not getting the blur zone thing on PlayStation VR 2 personally. So I don't know. But either way, it's a good game. It looks like it's going to be a great game to be added to PlayStation VR 2 and the Quest and VR in general. So we're in for XR gaming, hopefully. Looks great. looks really visually strong, and I hope that it comes out looking as excellent as it does and playing as excellent as it looks, as I'm sure you guys do as well. Well, makeup off and naked, no green screen. I just realized while editing, or cutting I should say, the podcast that we didn't even check out, or I didn't even talk about Exit 8 VR. So the game has been a massive success on Steam as a flat game. It also has a mod, I think it's Flat 2 VR that we spoke about either previously or after, depending on what order you're watching this and so forth, that allows you to play this in VR already, but I suppose it's not native, and maybe there's some new skiers in this one. I don't know, they've added some new anomalies. The idea of the game is they see there 50,000 players if you're watching versus listening, and I ain't got no lights, so I'm able to put the lights case. So essentially this game is, the idea of it has been loads of copycats since. I've even bought one of the copycats that's set on a different setting. They've got a new one available for flat that's based on I want to say, is it the train or plane? I think it's a plane. Anyway, the idea is you keep going through this station, underground station, trying to find the exit. I forgot to shut the door as well, so now I've got sneezing noises in the background. Hold up. Oh, gosh, it's hard to be a professional. So essentially you go in a loop trying to find any anomalies. The anomalies can be a poster with an eye missing, or the eyes are moving on the poster, or maybe the posters become smaller, or maybe there's someone being creepy looking for a doorway, etc., etc. It's a very novel idea, a very simple idea, but a very effective one. Kind of more creepy than horror, although it's classed as horror, but definitely seems to be hitting all the right spots in VR on the Quest here. I don't believe it's available for Steam, only Quest. Is a Quest exclusive at the moment, so we'll just double check that. Yes, definitely a Quest exclusive unless you go with the mod method. That one's just released as well. I actually completely forgot to talk about it. I mean, I said I didn't. So that's one to watch out for and check out as well. Should be a good time in VR native, and hopefully they'll put some new things in there maybe. I don't think they have. Oh, and once you've gotten out, each time you go around 8 loops, I believe it is, and each time as long as you don't make a mistake, then you restart. Each time you go around, if you get through and exit the actual underground, then the second part of the game is to find all the anomalies that are remaining. And I think there's something like either 22 or 30 or something like that, unless they add some new ones. So it's a simple concept, but a very cool concept that's been copied by many an indie developer now. Kind of like a Spot the Difference, but more interactive and more creepy. There you go. I'm gonna go put on some clothes. No, I don't need to put on some clothes. I'm watching England and Spain for what it's worth. It's not coming home, is it? And you won't be surprised to know that this episode is sponsored by, well, yours truly, the Integer, aka Just VR Gaming, bringing to your attention the very cool websites that we have available for you that will contains many cool VR related things, from articles to PDFs, books, some free, some paid supporting the channel, and the JustVRGaming.shop as well. It has all manner of cool merch to be showcased soon enough once I can afford my own merch, and many other cool stuff. So do check those out, support the channel. Some options are free as well. You can use our Amazon links if you're going to buy any of the VR stuff that we talk about, any of the devices and so forth. Yeah, use the link within 24 hours of clicking and it will count, and you'll be supporting the channel for free, and you'll allow me to make more videos, more regular, more sooner. Okay folks, sound the alarm. We have officially got another VR headset on the market, and it's more expensive than the Apple Vision Pro that retails at $3,500. Does it retail at £3,500 in the UK? Has it come out in the UK yet? Or is it like China and stuff first? I hope I'm not kind of overselling this. I'm pretty sure this is more expensive. Anyway, let's get into it. The Somnium VR1 headset goes on sale today, starting at €1,900. And I got a translation for the 3,900 one you're going to see in a moment. So as you see, there's a whole bunch of the prices here. It's set to launch July the 12th. That was at this recording time. It was 2 days ago. And there are eight editions of this thing. So the classic edition is just VR only, and it's €1,900, so cheapest. The Striker edition is VR and hand tracking. That's €2,300. The Visionary edition has VR and eye tracking. I imagine it has the hand tracking as well with it. That's €2,500. The Titan edition has eye tracking and hand tracking. Wait there. Oh no, scratch that. So one version's got hand tracking, one version's got eye tracking, and then this version has eye tracking and hand tracking, €2,900. Man, what is it with this spin up all over the place? Spectre edition has VR, hand tracking, and pass through. I'm guessing it doesn't have the eye tracking then. And the Ultimate edition has VR, eye tracking, hand tracking, and pass through. Dude, it's taking like all of the things of Quest and making separate versions by just whipping out different things of each of them. It's pretty wild. And then, oh gosh, and then here's the one that's more expensive than the Quest, the Apple Vision Pro, I should say. It's translucent limited edition, which is the ultimate edition with a transparent look. And then also there is, I highlighted here, there's also a military edition, which has VR, eye tracking, hand tracking, and pass-through. And it says TAA compliant. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like compliant for killing people, I don't know. But that's the thing. It's going to be even more expensive. Probably going to be like 5,000 or something euros. So 3,900 euros translated into US dollars, since most of you are going to be from the States watching this and that, translates to $4,249. So very cheap and affordable. Let's get some more context though. Originally focused on social VR platform of the same name, Czech startup Somnium Space is entering the hardware business for the first time with the Somnium VR1. It's been announced in 2021, and there's a collaboration with VR engineers. Almost sounds like Virgineers or something. Anyway, a company that makes high-end headsets and simulators for the military. All right, so that makes sense now. Basic features of Somnium VR1 include two QLED mini LED LCDs with 2,880 times 2,880 pixels per eye, local dimming, and a refresh rate of 144 Hz. The optics usually use aspherical lenses with a field view of 130 degrees horizontal to 105 degrees vertical. So the specs are definitely like way up there compared to your Quest and PlayStation VR 2, and maybe even your Apple Vision. Eye tracking with foveated rendering, hand tracking from Ultraleap, and pass-through cameras with a resolution of 12 megapixels each are available as optional modules. The device uses Steam VR tracking, so you will need the appropriate base station. So you have to buy a base station as well. It doesn't like it's included. So similar to the Steam's VR device with the little base station, like a big ass room. This is super expensive. This is like VR for Elon Musk. But it was worth mentioning, I guess, because it's crazy as for the price is nuts. And it looks kind of goofy. I have to say that picture looks like wasn't there like a Game Boy? You could see the parts inside of it. That's what the translucent version looks like. I guess that's the translucent version. It looks kind of goofy. It's got like two little lens things in the middle, it's like eyes. It looks very military, I would say, actually. Yeah, it looks kind of goofy. It looks kind of goofy. So let me know, guys, are you going to buy one of these? If you're going to buy one of these, do check out justvrgaming.net, where you can spend money also at a way more affordable rate for far less value, but for far more gratefulness. So I appreciate you in advance. Not much comments on this one except for the specs, and they sound pretty good, but Lighthouse tracking is a huge and limiting bolt anchor. Pretty darn pricey for what you're getting. John Grimaldi, I agree with you 100%. Man. Okay, let's go full screen with this one here. So a new XR platform from Samsung and Google will be announced, if not launched, this year being 2024, in case you're wondering. July the 14th this was recorded. This week Samsung and Google will confirm their forthcoming XR platform will be announced this year, though it's unclear if it will actually launch before the end of 2024. Early 2023 was when Samsung, Google, and Qualcomm first announced their collaboration on an XR platform based on Android. We covered this as well in a previous episode of the podcast, probably the first or second episode, I believe. So check out the playlist, it'll be linked if you want to catch all the previous episodes and become a super fan of the channel. Your mother will love you more for doing such. Or maybe, if she's around still to do that. In which case, if she isn't, sorry, maybe your dad will then. In which case, if he's not around, maybe your uncle. If they have an uncle, maybe your auntie. If you don't have either of those, maybe your friend. If you don't have a friend either, hey, you got a friend in me. Just don't get parasocial, okay? We're not going to play Minecraft together or anything like that. Sheesh. A few months later, Apple formally unveiled its long-rumored Vision Pro headset, and announced it will be launching in early 2024. Since then, we've heard little about the XR effort from Samsung, Google, and Qualcomm, save for some rumblings that the companies may have taken a step back to reassess their plans after seeing what Apple planned to launch with Vision Pro and how few people bought it. During the Samsung Unpacked event this week, Google's SVP of Platform Devices, Rick Osterloh, took to the stage and spoke briefly about the future of the company's collaboration with Samsung. Looking forward, we're collaborating to bring next-generation experiences across Galaxy products, from smartphones and wearables to even future technologies like the upcoming XR platform we've been working to develop in close partnership with Samsung and Qualcomm for next-generation devices. Ocelot said, "You'll want to stay tuned for that. It's an exciting new era in mobile computing, and we're thrilled to take our partnership with Samsung to the next level." I have been looking at the Samsung wearable ring, the ring, so that you can still be able to wear nice watches. They don't look like sports watches, the way smart watches look like. That just kind of released, but that's out of our wheelbarrow, so I can't really talk about it. It's not a watch channel or a fitness channel per se. Anyway, we still don't know exactly what shape the so-called XR platform will take. While it was initially expected the companies were working on something to compete with Meta's game-focused Quest platform, Vision Pro's emphasis on more general productivity and spatial computing may have changed priorities. Even Quest is starting to do that as well, to be fair, with the update that you saw previously or after this. Depending on what order or what version of the video you're watching, remember to watch the full podcast if you're watching just a part of Air, or you look at the Quest version 67 update, which is again moving it more forward to being an affordable Vision Pro, much affordable. Check priorities, and even still, Samsung, Google, and Qualcomm might not want to challenge either front. Instead, they might try to stake out their claim with mobile-focused, transparent, augmented reality glasses, and maybe starting with basic smart glasses functionality. That'd be pretty cool. I think that's going to be the future way, is glasses and things like that, because the headset thing, especially if the room's hot or what have you, man. Anyways, this is a big comment. I want to read this whole comment to you guys here, and my throat's getting dry already. Even after drinking water, it's not a good sign. I feel like this episode, even with cutting out the fluff, it's going to be over an hour, maybe, which our first one was like that, I believe. Apocalypse Shadows is going to be awesome. Much potential when people see it. This isn't Google making a headset, so these fears aren't warranted. This is Samsung, a company that is just as good in engineering by making something that'll compete with Facebook and Apple. They'll have full integration with apps from Google, probably connects to Chromecast for second screen streaming, Chromebooks, your Android phones, etc. They'll have power and performance for productivity or games, and be priced much less than Vision Pro. Hand tracking will be day one with great lens. I think it meant say great lens clarity there. I'll probably have an AI assistant built in like Bixby, which I still can't get to work probably on my watch. Anyway, but you'll be able to download Gemini. Only question is if it will come with controllers or will Samsung go Apple's route. Hopefully it'll be controllers day one. Won't be surprised on a stylus accessory too. S8 war is heating up soon. Yeah, it sure is. Hopefully the right president will be voted in. Oh, I suppose it means, I think that's a euphemism. As the other wants to put tariffs on foreign goods. Oh no, it's literally. And Samsung could be affected by that decision. And then someone starts doing the Trump thing, and then the Biden thing, and then someone was going to put Biden, but then they forgot. Okay, maybe that's not funny, sorry. Anyway, right, let's not go into politics, guys. Please no comments about politics. Just talk about the XR. Are you excited about what Samsung's going to do with this? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think they'll go more Quest route, which is still becoming more Apple route, or do you think they'll go more Apple route? Who knows? It's still pretty vague, but we should get something by before the end of the year. If we all make it to then, we shall see. This is the most gaming-focused episode of the podcast for a channel called Just VR Gaming, even though we don't just do gaming, but mostly we do gaming. But still, this is a landmark moment. This is a great time to do the likey, followy, subscribey thing if you haven't already, and make podcasting great again. Show Joe Rogan and the gang what it's about. That you don't need Shure SB mics. That you can do it with just shotgun mics that cost less than $100 or less than $150 or something like that. Anyway, new VR game showcase coming up, guys. Because the Sony one sucked, you know what, and no particular nationality type of one of those balls either. All right, so a new VR game showcase is kicking off next month, promising a peek at AAA VR games. AAA, and major updates coming from a number of studios, including Endreams, Vertigo Games, Shield Games, Flat 2 VR Studios, who recently announced that they're doing official remakes, or not remakes, VR versions, VR ports of games officially rather than mods that they do previously. And IO Interactive. Coming August 15th, that's August the 15th, by the way, guys, and presented by VR veteran Jamie Feltham. Sorry, Jamie, I'm going to butcher all the names. The inaugural VR Games Showcase will cover a variety of games targeting Quest, PlayStation VR 2, and PC VR. The showcase is set to feature over 15 titles and announcements, including Hitman 3 VR, Reload gameplay, updates from Flat 2 VR Studios, and new titles from Combat Waffle Studios. That's a great name, Combat Waffle. The team behind Ghosts of Tabor. We've also learned... we're all set to learn about what's next from Vertigo Games, Endreams, Shell Games, Fast Travel Games, Beyond Frames, and more studios, which will be revealed closer to the showcase. So all the big names are there, pretty much. Announcements have been carefully created in order to deliver a tight, focused event that highlights the best of VR has to offer in 2024 and beyond, Feltham reveals, noting that many of the featured titles will also be shown to press and content creators in the recently announced Home of XR mega booth at Gamescom 2024. So we've got like a bigger booth for VR as well, XR, it's great. Video Game Showcase is slated to air on Thursday, August 15th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's got a link for local time as well if you want to find a link for the specific times around the world. I mean, if I click that, what's going to happen? Is that going to like give me like times for different places? Let's see. I'm clicking it for you guys. So like, I don't get it. Wait there. UK at 5 p.m. New York, United States, that's 12 p.m. You're welcome. All right. Let's see some comments. I'm excited about this. Even though like there's like at least, well, we know that we know the Hitman one's gonna be kind of like Hitman. So I guess that's, you know, a little less exciting maybe. And we already know about was there another one we already know about? Actually no. Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. It's gonna be better than the other ones we've seen anyway. Alright, so what's this saying? Oh, Tony VT Scott Gold says, so we are a small community and we are even fragmenting our VR showcases. This makes no sense. What do you mean fragmenting? I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I know what fragmenting means, but like they don't give much of a showcase to VR stuff in other. There's nothing wrong with having a premiere VR show, I don't think. You got PC gaming show, PlayStation's got theirs, Xbox has got their show. We need a good full-blown VR show. There's nothing wrong with that. Octogos says biggest and brightest developers even, in quotes, aka people who wrote him a check that cashed. Here's hoping he's pulling in those upload rates of 5 to 15k per trailer featured. So they already been like, it's well, negativity on this. Wow. Okay, I'm bummed out now, guys. I don't want to watch this now. All the negativity in the comments just blown all my enthusiasm. I don't even want to know what you guys think about it. I'm done. That sucks. I hate life now. Thanks, guys. So positive. Yeah. Now, if you're in America, you're gonna have to help me with this one, or help us with this one, I suppose. With Quest 2 widely sold out, Meta aims to make Quest 3 price more palatable with 0% financing. This is not financial advice. Don't get yourself in debt. We're in a bit of a gulf now that Quest 2 is sold out. And it's weird because I looked on Amazon in the UK, it's not sold out. So if you can help us out by telling us if it's sold out for you, I click in my link for Amazon that works for America and Europe for science to see if it's actually Quest 2 is out of stock or not. And then you can like buy one or even buy the free via my Amazon link to see if it's out of stock or not, you know. Just saying. But yeah, if you just want to test for science, I appreciate that. If you want to do that actually and then buy some socks or something, that works as well. Appreciate you. But do it within 24 hours of clicking, yeah? Thanks. All right, so yeah, it's not sold out in the UK at least. And Meta is likely preparing to drop a new, cheaper device pretty soon to fill its shoes. To keep the headset sales chugging, though, Meta announced it's offering 0% financing on Quest 3. And it says eligible people in the US, so this is Europhobic, not Euro-inclusive, how dare you, can finance Quest 3 starting today at 0% APR. I feel like I'm an ad agent or something there, which lets you pay $25 per month for a 120 gigabyte headset or $35 per month for a 512 gigabyte headset, both of which is paid over the course of 24 months. Granted, that comes with out to $100 more than if you bought the 120 gigabyte variant outright, and $190 for the 512 gigabyte outright. However, Meta is offsetting this by offering an included 24-month subscription to its Meta Quest Plus game service. That's 2 years of the service, I guess. Well, it is. And Meta Warranty Plus coverage. Okay, so you're covered until Quest 4 comes up probably next year. Meta Quest Plus features 2 created monthly games next to a pool of titles. Normally costs $60 annually. The Meta Warranty Plus coverage usually costs $40 for 2 years. So essentially, if you're approved, you're spending less than if you'd purchased each of those things separately. Just to put that out there. Early summer leaks seemingly confirmed, though, that Meta is launching a new, cheaper Quest headset in 2024, reportedly called Meta Quest 3S, which is likely set to replace Quest 2 as a low-end device. Meta hasn't let the cat out of the bag on Quest 3S, which we're hoping to learn more about at Connect 2024 in September. So that's probably going to be a busy day for the podcast. However, the company hasn't confirmed it's going to release its XR operating system, where it has confirmed even, to third-party OEMs for the first time, which is set to include the Quest-like mixed reality headsets from Asus, Lenovo, and Xbox. You know, Xbox One seemed like it's more like a reskin, to be fair. Would you guys buy a Quest 3 if you haven't bought one already for this financing option, where you're getting the actual warranty thing that no one ever gets unless they're incredibly rich already and very uncareful, or 2 years of Quest Plus, which isn't quite Game Pass, but maybe it will be Game Pass like by 2 years anyway. Who knows? Would you be into that? An extra $100 for that? Let's look at some of the comments. Kakek says, if you need to finance a video gaming device, don't buy it. Technically, you can say that about almost anything. We shouldn't finance anything technically, but I don't know. Christian even, Shilnwan Wachaka says, that's simply not true. You'll buy a you install a $500 Quest free for $600 or $650 or $500 plus an extra $60 for every year following if you don't want to lose access to your Quest Plus library. Once 2 years are up, and most bundle deals is cheaper than buying all the parts separately, but that's only relevant if you intend to get the extra warranty and Quest Plus subscription for 2 years anyway. Otherwise, there's no way a free 0% cheap offer. It's kind of true. Maybe you'll pay the full price once and then be free to do whatever they want with it, including spending the save money on Steam Summer Sale or selling the Asian ones if they lose interest may be a much better option. So that's something to consider as well for real. Makes good points. Those are responses. This one's got 5 likes versus the first one that had 12 likes on one and 2 dislikes down. Thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, 12 and 2 down. This one's got 6 up, 1 down. If you have to finance this, you probably shouldn't be buying one. I guess that's kind of like the line of, if you need to ask the price, you probably can't afford it type of thing. There's a dog going absolutely nuts outside the window, it's not picking up. Yeshua says, all you need for the VR is less than $1 a day. It's a decent pitch, I think. The Meta Quest Plus library is very good value for money for a brand new VR user, I think. Gives a great sample of major genres, lets you see what you like. This one's more positive. Mixed reviews on that idea. I mean, there's options there. You also have to be careful about paying in finance. I have been known to do the buy now, pay across 3 months option with something like a Klarna or what have you, successfully thus far, all the time. Long may continue as needed be. Be careful if you're going to finance stuff, guys. And if you are financed up to the hilters, talk to someone, get help. Wow, that was a big boy episode for the podcast. This is top 5, it's episode 5. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for your subscriptions, likes and your follows, depending on wherever you're watching. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to check out any of the links to buy anything and support the channel for free of anything you saw today that you could buy, like a Quest 3 or a PlayStation VR 2, whatever you're into, whatever you need, or even if you just want to buy some socks, just click the link and buy some socks, because you were curious about the product and you decided to buy something else, and it still counts within 24 hours. And share it with a friend, share it with a pet, they might share it with someone, and we will eventually become even more deadly in VR.